everyone, this is Planckera, and welcome to my universe. So, man, feeling phlegmy here. Alright, so last time I started on, I got the basic idea for the design. There's some things that I keep going back and forth on. I mean, as much as I do try to show the entire process during my streams, when it comes to idea generation and designs, that's not always possible. With fan art, it's very easy, because the design is already made for me. I don't have to worry about it. But if I'm designing something by myself, I'm going to be thinking about it all the time while I'm off stream. And, I mean, it's just kind of how it is. So, I keep going back and forth on, you know, whether or not I prefer the veil versus the high ponytail. The ponytail I think is fabulous still. Whether or not there's too much red in her upper body here. You know, stuff like that, since Kyubey is mostly white. But for those not sure what I'm doing, I am turning Kyubey, the cute little mascot character from Madoka Magica, into a magical girl. And so... Oh, hello there, Yeji Kitty. And so while I kind of think about some of those decisions, I still need to get the body for my base down. And so I'm just gonna keep doing that today. We'll see. I've been thinking about being a little bit more particular about it, so that this way I can release it as a base for people to draw on, but we'll see if I will or not. Even if I'm not particular about it on stream, I can always work on it more off stream. But anyway, I think that the proportions are good and whatnot. A little bit weird for me. I am not used to such squishy bodies. But it's okay. I think it is appropriate for the material. Ah, congrats. Did you get anything good out of watching the tutorials? So I'm just gonna kinda even out the proportions here a little bit. Finish a lot of the stuff there and just kinda... Let me actually pull up my references again. Because I want to imitate the proportions in Madoka somewhat. I'm not quite feeling comfortable enough to get their super square, blobby faces. I will... I will, worry about that later. But for now, I just kind of want to figure out how wide the shoulder should be. Because I do think that her shoulders might be a little bit wide. Oh, nice. I always have trouble with feet. For some reason, wrapping my head around the stuff they have to do always leads to some amount of shenanigans. And let's see, I think her chest is a little bit large as well. Like, I'm going for like maybe mommy-sized proportions here. Definitely nothing larger than that. But I want to give my magical girl Kyubey a little bit of more of a mature look. Like I said, relative to the other girls in there, so... You know, mommy proportions. Where she's the more mature-looking one. I still want her to look vaguely middle school aged, because I just don't think it would be Madoka without that. That's just how old they are. I can tell it has been a long time since I've drawn something in that age range. Most of the time I draw characters that are a little bit older. I see. Another vacation? I mean, it's kind of a... soon to be going on another vacation right after the one there. Are you, like, planning on moving to Bulgaria or something? Or is there some other reason that you're going there so often? Let's see, is that a good spot for... Okay, no, bottom of the chest needs to be a little bit lower. Probably means that the navel is a little bit lower too. Maybe like right here. Seems okay. All right. There we go. I think that's let me zoom out here, but I think that's pretty all right. I'm just gonna kind of focus on getting her body and the legs right. Her legs might be a little bit long, but let's see. Ah, I see. Fair enough. Yeah, I think I had the legs just a tad long here, so let's shorten them up just a little bit. Like I said, these proportions, super blobby. They are meant to be far cuter than what I am used to. I do think I am better at cool than cute. So, you know, this will be a good learning experience too. Okay, I think that's good. Let me check the other way. Yeah, I think that's fine. And I think I'm gonna do a different hand pose. I don't like this going across her chest. Covering up part of the character design. Yeah, I think it's inevitable to an extent when you've immigrated somewhere or when you're a child of first-generation immigrants. Because you'll take a lot of the characteristics from your parents' home country with you. Not just physical characteristics. I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of that. Children look like their parents, and that is normal. That is just how things are. But there's also some cultural things that you'll take from your parents, too. But I imagine it's weirder in that part of the world, just based on my understanding. So... Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'll just have to decide if I want to smooth things out here. Because yeah, if I want to turn this into a nice base that I can upload somewhere for people to draw their own clothes on, then... well, I would have to get everything smooth. But if I'm just trying to draw something nice for stream here, then I probably wouldn't bother smoothing any of this out because, well, it's all going to be covered up with clothes, and the design I have here, not exactly revealing. So we probably would not have like any skin showing at all here. Let's see. I want her legs to be a little bit higher up on her. I think I do. I think that's probably good. Kinda more aligned with where I think her hips are. Man. That head is just so giant, but I think it's accurate. They are truly just blobs. I had the torso a little bit short. I don't think I do. Maybe I moved the chest a little bit too far down. No, I don't think I did. I'm just not used to these proportions. That's all there is to it. So I'm checking against actual, like, official art from the show and screenshots and stuff. Just to make sure I'm kind of getting it right. There's waist. Okay, no, I think that is accurate. Let me check the shoulders one more time. If anything, her shoulders are a little bit wide, but I think this is fine. I move her head over a little. Okay, there we go. I question how you remember this, but okay. I'll take your word for it. Okay, there we go. And I think that's a good width for the neck, so let's go ahead and get some arms in. Are the feet a good size, or did I make them large? No, I think the feet are a good size. Okay. Let's get some arms in. So, man, as if I didn't have enough trouble with arms. It is time to make them super noodly. Let's go. Okay, I don't actually like the arm pose that I have, so I think I'm going to choose a new one. So I think I'm actually going to clear both the arms that I have and just draw them again. I don't know, do I just go with an A pose? I guess it's not terrible. Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's kind of boring. Can I get something better? Something that looks vaguely sinister. How do they normally pose Homura? If I want something vaguely sinister, she's probably a reasonable reference. Let's take a look around. I don't know what to do with the arms. Okay. Be angry if you want. Live your life however you please. Let's see here. Maybe something vaguely thoughtful would be good. Just something that looks like it's always plotting against you. Let me see what I can find here. It's probably going to be a bunch of stuff with, like, steepled fingers, but I'll see if I can find something that I kind of enjoy. Actually, no, I have a thought. Maybe if instead of this arm here, I can just kinda... I think it would have to be the back arm, just due to how I have the head angled. Trust me, there's something in my mind here. Let's see if I can draw it. Where I had the finger kinda up against her cheek here. We have a hand. And then the arm just kinda comes down here like this. And then maybe on this arm, instead of having it go all the way across, I just have it, like, on her hip here. Okay, that looks vaguely sinister, like it's plotting against you. That seems fantastic. Okay, we'll go with this. Okay, seems good to me. Seems good to me. I think that's a good goal to strive for. Languages are cool. Languages are a lot of fun. It can tell you a lot about the way the people that live in certain areas think. Just the way they're able to string sentences together and the things that exist in their grammar and all these neat things. Okay, I think that is accurate. And besides, the more languages you know, the more people you can talk to. Okay, there we go. All right, let's actually get this proportionate, and I should probably take a look at the legs too. I don't actually think they're looking terrible, but this calf is perhaps a little pointy. So I'll clean that up a little bit. Do I have her a little bit too thick? Let's see here. I had some pretty good references here. Do I have her a little bit too wide? Yeah, you do speak English pretty well. I haven't had any trouble understanding you. Okay, let's just shorten that little bit. Make her just a little bit less curvy here. As much as I do enjoy exaggerating these curves, and I am just procrastinating a little bit on drawing the arms. Because I hate drawing arms, and I am terrible at them. Okay, and with how the pose changed slightly, I actually need to straighten out this leg a little bit too. I kind of need it to be like under her middle. That's where it'll look stable. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, and I'm having to adjust this leg as well because it needs to be in a certain position relative to the other one. And I think there's good. I mean, it doesn't matter where you learn the language, as long as you're able to communicate with people, you're doing something right. That's what matters in the end. Okay. So things are going to look a little bit strange for a second there, but I want to make sure that I have the kind of back of her leg here shaped correctly, and then what's the right word? I just want to make sure that all the things are in their correct places. Like the calf is actually like on the... Is that on the upper part of the leg or the lower part? I can never remember. It's on the upper part, right? Yeah. And then it just kind of goes into the ankle. Okay. There we go. being a little bit more particular about my proportions here than usual. Because a lot of the time I'm pretty okay with just fixing it as I go along, especially when I'm just drawing something. But here, I really want to make it so I can focus entirely on design once I finish drawing the base here. I do not want to have to think at all about proportions and whatnot, so I'm taking a bit of extra time to make sure I got them right. Because, man, having to go back and actually make sure that my drawing is good when I'm trying to think about what shapes that I want in the design and all these other interesting things, well, it's kind of a terrible feeling. So I would like to avoid it if I can. So I'm just gonna make sure I got everything where they need to go. Okay, I think that should be fine. This leg's not looking too bad. Just kind of scratchy and various other things that I'd want to fix up if I were actually cleaning this up. But for now, I might just leave it here. I might just leave it like this. This is probably fine, since indeed I will be covering up most of her body with clothes. Let's get that little calf muscle in there, so this way I know where that part of the leg is. And you can see I have a little indent for the knee there. I think this kind of thing is actually important for, at least for me, for character design things, because then I know how long things should be and whatnot, and that's... It's good for me, because I'm generally terrible at proportions. Like, I'm always making things too big or too small. So taking a little bit of extra time to know that, yes, if I draw something at knee length, I know where the knee is, and everything relative to it will be correct. Now that's ultimately what proportions are. They're just, do things look right relative to other things? And I don't mind making her legs kind of skinny. It suits the material that I'm kind of imitating here. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Sounds terrible. Okay, that's a reasonable foot. I think that's a reasonable leg. Let's go ahead and stop procrastinating and do these arms. Let's see, where did I put my arms? I'm gonna rename this, since I decided to change my pose here. I'll exaggerate the finger somewhat, let it kind of curl back. Maybe, do I like that? I don't know. Maybe I don't. Okay, no, that's fine. And let's see, what color should I use here? A lot of the time when I draw limbs in the back like this, I just leave them a dark color. But with this kind of hand pose, I do think I need a little bit more detail on it, so I'll probably throw in some other things. Where's her thumb gonna be? Let's see, when I do the pose, I can have it sticking out or going in if I am so inclined. Having it stick out would probably be easier to draw, so I'll do it like that. We'll keep life simple for today, and I won't draw a thumb wrapping around the rest of her fingers. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Let me see here. Where should I have the fingers being divided? Something like this, maybe? Yeah, it seems alright. And then they'll kind of go down. I think that is correct. So let me focus on the overall shape of her arm, and then I'll worry about getting the lighting and stuff in there. I don't like the way her elbow is. The hand looks fine, so I'm gonna go ahead and just hold this over there for a second while I rework everything else. Okay. What I gotta do. That arm was just too stiff and too close to her body. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it more like that. Actually, I probably should have just put her hand on a new layer while I was messing with it. There we go. Now I can safely put her hand exactly where I want it. There we go. And now I can freely draw the rest of her arm, and if I happen to decide I feel like it, I could always merge these layers together later. But that looks much better. The other pose looked a bit stiff. It's fun. I like digital. You need some extra equipment that can get kind of pricey, but I do like me some digital. You can do a lot of random shenanigans, and it's fantastic. A lot of my process has been informed by the fact that I am working on the computer, as opposed to just being limited by what I can do on paper. I couldn't get away with half of the things I do here. I love my transform tools. They are so nice, and they help me out so much. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with drawing on paper. Drawing on paper's good too. Just kinda comes down to whatever you prefer. Let's see, what direction should this go? Let's see, so I think we're seeing the side of the arm here, so it's probably kind of like this, actually. Yeah, that feels a little bit better. Just deciding whether her forearm is in front or if it's the other part of her arm. And I do think it is indeed the forearm. Okay, so now I'm gonna get the shape on that going well. And let's see, I want to differentiate the forearm from the other part of her arm very clearly for myself here, so that this way I can know that my proportions are working out the way they should. Her arm still feels a little bit short, huh? Man, their arms are so noodly. So I think I have, like, the thickness right, even though it feels so skinny. But indeed, it is a little bit short. So let's get that a little bit longer here. Okay. I think that's all right. Let me go ahead and turn her hand back to normal here, and I'll figure out where that wrist is now. I think her index finger might be a little bit small as well. So let's go ahead and poke at that a little bit. Like, I think it's a solid length and whatnot. It's just a little bit short. Or not short, a little bit thin. And then, yeah, the fingers do something like this. I'll detail that later. This is... I think this is enough for now. And at the very least, I know... I think the proportion seems fine. Like, the size of this hand looks correct to me, even though the fingers are totally mutant still. I need to draw them properly at some point. But I kind of don't want to do it right now, because I know I'm going to be putting gloves on her hand, and... I'm going to be changing all these colors anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and do her other arm here. So there we go, just a nice simple pose for a character design, since the focus is just on the design itself. Okay. Let's go ahead and connect this to her body. There we go. Seems okay. Oh no, I totally pushed her shoulder too far out there. Gotta be blob. Gotta be a complete blob. There we go. Nice and blob. Okay, and then there's going to be like a shadow in the elbow here, and I kind of had to figure out how that's going to go. This is fine for now, I think. Let's go ahead and get a hand in there. I'm going to use the dark color for the hand for now. Oh gosh. I never remember how hands on the hips actually work. Okay, I think what I have is okay. This is normally where I'd go look up a reference, but I think I can just draw it. I've drawn this pose a few times. I just, like, always forget how it works. And I'm just keeping the super dark color because I want it to contrast with her skin color right now. I think it'll be fine once I have the rest going. Actually, I don't really think you see the thumb. Maybe you do. Let me see. I'm trying to feel it on my own body here. In this case, I'm not really looking at it. I'm just feeling it. I'm trying to feel where my thumb goes naturally. And I think it's just something like this. Yeah, that looks right. Sometimes you don't even gotta make it complicated. Just feel it in your bones. Literally. Literally in this case, just feel where the bones go. That's another thing I kind of reference when I'm drawing faces. Is sometimes I'll just feel my face and see what it's doing. Make the expression feel the face. And it's actually pretty effective. Let's see, where does my pinky go? Yeah, it actually tilts pretty far down the side here. It's a little bit stretched out. And I actually think that the hand tilts more like this, and then the finger comes up. Just based on what I'm feeling when I do the pose. Okay, I actually do need to make sure that this looks good before I start drawing this. But, I'm gonna go work on the face. Give myself a little bit of a break from arms and hands and other difficult things. Okay. Let's go do a little bit on the face here. I think the nose looks fine. I'm just gonna give it a little downward tilt there, although actually I don't even think I have to do that, do I? Nope, they are literally just dots. Okay, we embrace the dot then. I'm just gonna embrace the dot. Let it be a dot shape. I'm making it kind of a triangle, it's fine. Okay. Okay, and I want to get the expression on her face looking nice. Because I have a particular thing in mind, and I would like it to look good. I'm gonna pick a mouth color. I don't always do that at this point. Most of the time, I kind of save it for final rendering, but in this case, I kind of want it there. I'm gonna pick a nice, kind of pinky red. Maybe a little bit more pink than that. I think that's a pretty good color. Okay. There we go, and now I should be able to get the expression that I want. I'm not really gonna refine a lot of her face yet. I just want to get all this extraneous stuff down before I really start drilling into the character design. Because like I said at the beginning, I have a lot of thoughts, and there are certain parts where I'm just like, I don't know if I like this as much as I thought I did before, so I'm gonna fiddle with it. And I'm at the point where I do not think that my basic scribbling is gonna let me fiddle with these last couple of things I need to fiddle with. So I would like to get it down. I would like to get it down. Okay, this kind of chin is a little bit bigger than what I would normally draw, but I was gonna say, for more of the Moe blob look, they normally have larger chins, but then I look at the actual screenshots here and no, their mouths are pretty far down. They have very little chin. They actually legitimately have like no chin here. So I should probably actually move this down. Put a bigger gap between the nose and the mouth. Yeah, looking at it, there is quite a decently large gap there. This might actually be a little bit too much, but maybe like here. And then I guess I should make the eyes a little bit bigger. Man, I never thought I'd say that in my style. Normally I make them way too big. But, yep. Yep. There we go. I think that looks pretty nice. Albeit maybe perhaps a little ridiculous, but... Yeah, I want to go back to the finishing up the expression. I might even make the chin a little bit smaller here. But there we go, I'm kind of seeing it, and then the rest is probably going to be in eyes and eyebrows, but I will give her some teeth. Let me make sure that Kyubey's eyes are the color I think they are. Let's see here. You just have a... they're actually a little bit pinker. Yes, they're a little bit pinker than the other colors in her. So I will grab that. And the reason I'm grabbing that now is because I like basing the eye white on the color of the eyes. And so that means I need some eyes in here. And of course, I gotta make them super, super round and super, super big. That might be too big. How's that? Yeah, that seems about right. Nice and giant. Very scary looking until I kind of fix it, but I like having perfect circles and that extend outward. It's kind of funny. I started doing this because you need to have the complete eyeball for rigging things. And I found that I actually just really liked doing it because it meant that I could move the eyes around. I could safely move the eyes around and adjust the gaze all I wanted. And it felt really good. It made my life much easier. What? Okay, yeah. No, we're good. I was confused for a second there, because I was like, wait, I don't have that color selected. No, I will not be giving her a black sclera or anything. This is... I just need to see what I'm doing. Her skin is really light. And so it's kind of hard to see the white color on it. Okay, I think I'm gonna desaturate this just a little bit. But otherwise, I thought the color was good. So I will use that for teeth. And I could give her a completely expressionless, emotionless stare. Like, I think it would suit Kyubey. But I think this is a little bit more fun. I am turning her human after all. So I am trying to give kind of a sociopathic impression, but still want to keep some of the human features. Okay. And I guess I'll put a shadow in because the teeth are going to be completely in shadow. So I'll just put a shadow in. I'll just go ahead and do it now. Let's see, this is a bit pinker than I would like. So let's go ahead and get some purple in there, and I will set this to multiply because it holds the purple a little bit better. Actually, that's probably way darker than what they use. Do they even shade? They do a little bit. It's very gray. I was gonna say, do they even shade the sclera? Because I don't remember there being much shading there. But I do see a teeny tiny bit. We'll see if I really feel like imitating the style. But for now, I'll just do it like this. I'll do it in mine. It's fine. Okay, there we go. That's an expression. I think it's working. I will I will color her eyelashes proper once I've started on the hair, but I don't want to do that yet. I want to finish off kind of nailing the expression that I have going here. And for that, I do need a little bit more definition in the eyes. The eyes are too important for expressions. And also, I want to procrastinate on hand, so it works out. I won't be completely smoothing this out. I just want the general shape down. Okay. So even though Kyubey is super blobby and round, I think very sharp eyes suits her better. So I'm gonna go with very sharp eyes. Lots of straights here. Lots and lots of straight lines. It's like I probably could do just like almost perfectly round, you know, like this. And I could make it work. But I just think this looks better. I just like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it like this. I am cleaning this way more than I meant to, so I'm gonna leave it there before I keep getting particular. And I'm not gonna do eyelashes yet. Eyelashes will come when it's time to clean up the rest of the eye here. And you can see the motion that I was doing there is kind of measuring where I think that the next part should go, because like if I draw a straight line from here, you can see it kind of goes there, and I'm trying to line up the angle here. Just due to the nature of how the head turns, I am angling it upward a little bit more. This is a little bit too much. I do need to angle this down just a little bit, but that's the idea. That's the idea. Just gotta measure things. Angles are important. Don't sleep through math class, kids. Math will come to haunt you in everything, so it's good to learn. So after all, math is just one way to model life. Math is indeed humanity's way of trying to find an objective way, independent of human senses, to model how the world works. And so basically so that we can make predictions and gain an understanding of the world. Where our brain lies to us, because our brain lies to us all the time. It's very rude. It's doing its best, but it does not always have accurate information, and thus, humanity made math. To try to compensate for that a little bit. Okay. Admittedly, I'm already digging the expression. I haven't even given her eyebrows, so this is awesome. Once again, I am cleaning this more than I intended. So I'll leave it there. It's pretty messy, but that's fine. Let me just fill in the eye white properly. Oh, I didn't realize that you were locked. Makes sense, since I was just putting some shading on it. Man, I swear, she looks so creepy like this. Almost makes me want to do it, but the dark colors don't suit her at all. Not at all. She is a cute, white, fluffy blob. And I gotta keep that impression. Okay, and there we go. Moved over the eyes a little bit, so now it looks more like she's looking at the viewer here, I think. God, those are freaking huge. Is that really a good size? No, right? They're definitely way too big, right? Yeah, a little bit too big. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. Because, yeah, that was massive, man. Even by my standards. And I tend to draw eyes quite large. Like, quite large. Okay, let's get her looking at us again. Okay, seems good. Let's give her some eyebrows. I'll just make them black for now, too. Let's see, what direction do I want these eyebrows to go? Do I want them to be like this, or do I want them to be like this? Just, oh. So I could go this way, or I could go this way. Definitely not both, but... No, a neutral expression works better. Just thinking about things, you know? Nothing sinister going on here. All is well. Just here saving the universe. A little bit too soft. It's a little bit too soft. So I will angle them down just a little bit here. Just not too much. Mostly raising them. There we go. Just saving the universe. All is well. Please die for the sake of the universe. Okay. Alright, there we go. That's pretty blobby. Okay, so now I guess I should go back to actually finishing off the arms and hands here. Are those eyes still a little bit too big? Maybe a little bit too wide. I tend to do things in circles. Madoka does not. Okay. There we go. That seems a little better. Yeah, that seems pretty okay. Now, let me remember how this pose works. Actually, let's not remember. Let's go look up a reference. Hand on hip. Okay. The importance of references. Let's see what I got here. See if I can find something at a good angle. Yeah, that's kind of what I was picturing. Okay, so I think the big thing that'll help me figure this out. Yeah, this one has the index finger a little bit more separated. So I guess I'll do it like that. It doesn't really matter. And this is what I've had the reference for, so I'll just do it like that. Let's see here. So I think that sums up the angle of the palm. I'm gonna go ahead and add... Yeah, sure, we'll use black. It's fine. I just need a little bit of stuff to help me picture the angle a little bit. And like I said, all of these colors will be changing. Because I'm a giver gloves. So I just do not really care what color things are. Whatever helps me here is what I will use. So I think this kind of shape is accurate. And I'll go ahead and do a lot of adjustments on the fingers here. So we got a finger. I'll leave them a little bit square. I find it a little bit easier to see when things are squares. Kind of goes out and then down, like right there. And these are super bulbous. I'm going to be redrawing the entire index finger anyway. Okay, and then I also need some understanding of how this connects to the arm, and I kind of want to do that before I get too far into the rest of this, I say, as I continue to draw this finger, but it's fine. Let's see here. How does the arm work? Where is the side that's facing us and the side that's facing away? Okay, I see it. I just have this backwards. I wish I could say that I was surprised, but I am not. There we go. Now everything should make sense again. Dyslexia strikes again. Okay. So from here, I think I can shape the shape of her arm. I'm going to keep it fairly straight. Just because in Madoka, they don't really detail the elbows very much. Like, ever. Like, I'm looking at a lot of the screenshots from the show, some promotional material, and only in certain poses do they actually do anything with the elbows at all. Otherwise, it's very, very simple. Give her just a little bit more of a shoulder there. How far out do I go? I don't need to go that far out. We can start clearing around here. Okay. Get that elbow in there. Even if I'm keeping it fairly simple, it's still there. Let's get the length right here. I don't think I want to spend too much time getting everything just right, but I do want to make sure that I have all the, like, major spots down. So this way I will know where things are when it comes time to actually put clothes on her. I want to make sure that everything will make sense, and I am not guessing. And if I wanted to turn this into a base, I better make real sure that everything is right here. Now let me see. How are elbows shaped again? Kinda tilt downward there. Okay. I think that is plenty. I'm just getting the thickness of the arm right at this point. There we go. And then what's the wrist doing? It's coming up here, it's going around here, and that seems okay. That does seem okay. And I will show a slight hint of like bicep and stuff here. But it's not really that important, so I'm gonna keep it simple. And then the muscular parts on the arm over here kind of do a thing like this, I think. The shadow that I have here is more pointed upward, which is probably why it's looking weird to me still. There we go. Yeah, that looks better. I'm still gonna keep this a dark color just so I can see a little bit better. And now we'll go ahead and connect into the wrist, and shadows actually get a little bit thicker here. Yeah, it's starting to look a little bit more like a forearm. Sure is. Okay. This is the power of reference. This way you can just look at the thing and ask yourself if it looks right or not. There we go. Her arm look attached. Oops. Sure does. I don't know, is that a little small? Like, I think the length is fine, maybe not quite. But it's definitely striking me as a little tiny bit thin. Let's try that again. Let me check my proportion reference. How skinny are Madoka arms? Holy cow, those are noodles. That's all I can describe it as. But no, these are a little bit too thin. Only a little bit though. They weren't nearly as bad off as I thought they were. But they are a little bit noodly. Okay, there we go. That looks a little better. Let's get this side a little bit better. Get this looking a little bit more like a forearm, and I think everything's gonna look strange until I have the hand the right color, but that's okay. It's all okay. All is well. I think this is just coming up a little bit too hard, so I'm gonna make this a little bit straighter here. There we go. That's a little bit better. We want a little bit of meat on the arm here, but that was a lot. Madoka arms are noodles, it's fine. Okay. Is that an arm? That sure looks like an arm. That sure looks like an arm. Okay. I think we're good. Okay. Let's start connecting the hand here. So it's going to do something like this, except partway through we have this finger that's like in the back. I'm just going to make the whole thing black just to make things easier on myself. It kind of comes up from behind the other fingers. And does a thing. These fingers might be a little bit long and gangly, but I think it's okay. Come on. My tablet keeps thinking I'm double-clicking, and I don't know why. Kind of annoying, actually. We'll have a thumb going back here somewhere. I think I actually want to tilt this hand just a little bit more. Yeah, let's tilt him a little bit more here. That should be fine. I will have to redraw the thumb, but that is also fine. Okay. And we have fingers coming out. I want the... Yeah, that's a little bit long. That's a little bit long. Let's not make the fingers too gangly here. Because I do want them to be at least relatively accurate. Like, I don't want to have to be going back through and adjusting things a bunch while I'm trying to put clothes on. This isn't exactly how things are in my reference, but I think it's fine. I think the back of the index finger here is a little bit too far back. Let's slide them forward just a little. And I also think my hand is a little bit large, so let's go ahead and slide that back. To be fair, I was comparing it to an adult woman's hand, whereas here I'm drawing a middle school moe blob, so that was probably a factor. It is important to remember what you're drawing. Okay, there we go. That's a little better. And then I'll just go ahead and get the other fingers in here. Try to get them looking pretty okay. Wait, do I have an extra finger drawn? 1, 2, 3... Oh, shoot. I was trying to draw 6 fingers. Shouldn't do that. Let's move them a little closer together so that this way I do not have to do that. There we go. And now I can just make... I don't know, just make the fingers look nice, I guess. Be a little thicker in some areas. Give her some nice little fingertips. That kind of thing. And most of the time, I generally only draw like 2 joints of my fingers. Here we're kind of getting like half of one, since I'm doing the little, I don't know, bend at the end there. But I do find it a little bit easier just to draw fingers with just 2 joints instead. Makes it a little bit simpler, and I do not think it impacts the quality of the hand at all. If I was trying to draw something hyper-realistic, you know, then I'd worry a little bit more about getting all 3 joints in. But I'm drawing an anime girl. It's fine. 2 joints is plenty. That's one of the joys of stylized art, is that you can kind of you can kind of do what you want, simplify things down a little bit, and it'll actually look better than if you had drawn it too realistically. When one thing is heavily stylized, you kind of have to stylize a bunch of stuff around it. Because if you have one piece of a drawing that's like super hyper realistic, and another part that's stylized, it'll look really weird. So you gotta stylize everything together. Very important. That's also why I keep looking to Madoka for some thoughts on how to keep things in more of a consistent style, just so that this way, the fact that I have this, you know, fairly tiny body with a giant head here, as long as I kind of keep proportions similar, it shouldn't look weird. But if I went back to the way that I normally handle proportions, which is more in line with adult bodies, then it would look weird. It would all look very strange. So I am just making sure that everything is consistent there. That I have this part of her body small, so I need to make sure that this part of her body is also kind of small. And that kind of thing. And that kind of thing. Okay, still feel like this index finger is a little bit thin, so let's go ahead and thicken that up a bit, and then I'll draw this finger on top of it. I think this one's a pretty good size, so I think that should be fine. I think that's a pretty good looking hand. Feels weird to actually be doing all of this now as opposed to having the entire illustration designed first. But in this case, you know, it's a design. I want to make sure that the body I'm painting on is good. And what I'll be figuring out is actually less to do with the way the overall illustration looks, and more to do with just showcasing the design and making sure that I am pleased with the design itself. Let me bring her cheek out here. Oh gosh. Okay, so this is where I have to decide. Do I dare go for that weird kind of blocky cheek look that they've got in Madoka? Can I do it? I'm a test on a new layer. Can I do this without it just freaking me out? No. No, I can't. I'm a do it. It's kind of a mix of our styles, I guess. I probably could if I really tried. I probably could if I really tried. It's just, do I want to? Do I want to? Part of me says yes. It'll be good practice. It'll be kind of interesting. But another part of me is like, but they're kind of scary looking. Maybe if it was an art style I liked more, I'd be a little bit more inclined to try it. Like, you know, if I ever try to draw something from Path to Nowhere in the style of Path to Nowhere, you know, yes. Maybe that would be a fantastic time to really lean into a style study. But for now, I'll keep their proportions. But I want to keep my curves. Okay, there we go. Now I can kind of figure out where that finger's supposed to go. Having the cheek just have like weird gaps in it and be blobby and kind of ugly was just throwing me off. But now I feel like I can get the finger the right shape. Is it long? No, I don't think so. I think this is fine. I think this is fine. So... Oh, hey, guess what? I have the hand drawn backwards. Oh, this is actually fantastic news, because it means I don't have to draw the fingers. Yay! Life is good! Oh, life is so good. I am so happy right now. I don't have to draw the fingers. Okay, I'm doing the pose on my own cheek here. Okay, this does mean that if I wanted to draw the thumb going out, that there'd be weird foreshortened shenanigans, so let's not do that. I told you guys, I draw hands backwards all the time. Okay, so instead what I got here is... I like this finger, so I'm gonna put this on another layer while I figure out the rest of the hand here. Let's go ahead and hide her arm for a second here. And so what I've got is I've got a palm. You're gonna hide the finger too. I've got a palm. Well, not a palm. It's the back of the hand. And it's probably shaped something like this. Okay? So, this is the back of the hand here. It's gonna connect down into a wrist. And... I'm kind of seeing which parts I need to draw here. So we're probably not actually seeing the finger from the side. Probably seeing it more from the front. I don't think the shape changes that much regardless. It probably does a little. Let me go ahead and hide her head for a second here. So instead of having, like, you know, the front of the finger there, we'd see it a little bit more from this direction. Where the nail is kind of behind it. And so I'll make it a little bit straighter, but not much. And that should be a little bit better. Let's give her head back, and I will pull the finger out just a touch here. There we go. Okay. Back to what I was doing. So, we got a palm. This finger... pointed toward her, so yeah, it's gonna connect over here. I'm actually gonna go put this behind here. And then we're gonna have the other knuckles kind of coming off the top here. I'm gonna do it from the other way, so we have, like, the middle finger here. I guess I'll draw those on another layer too, just to keep things simple in my head. And they're gonna wrap around. They're gonna wrap around here, and I will go ahead and put a few shadows in, just to make everything easier to see. And it'll do something like this. And we'll have a thumb kind of coming out like this. And it's just gonna head back here and wrap around her fingers there. In fact, I probably want some nice shadows here. show off the thumb there. Okay. Then it's going to go into a wrist. And that's where it'll connect into her arm. This hand might be small. Let me compare it to the size of the other one. No, if anything, it's actually big. Yeah, I think it's actually tall. And I think the finger's a little bit long. So I'll do it like that. And we clean up here. And then I want to fix the perspective on it just a little here. So I kind of want to tilt it that way. Yes, yes, yes. And then I just make the thumb a little bit more noticeable again. Easy enough. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I think that's pretty good. That looks pretty hand-like. Me fixing the perspective did make it rather tiny, so let's go ahead and make it just a little bit larger. But I think that's pretty good. Let's give her arm back. Because now I got a part where it's kind of connecting into the wrist. And I think I can just kind of draw the arm out here. I'm not sure if that angle is right, though, so I might have to kind of poke at it a little bit more. But I'll start with this for now. Because I do actually want to make sure that that's all correct before I start drawing out my design. Yeah, it's not quite working for me. Did I draw the hand backwards again? I think I might have. I did. I drew it backwards. I did it again. Okay. In this case, I have the fingers on the right side. But somehow I forgot. Or it's less that I forgot, and more that because I'm using my own hand as a reference, I see, ah yes, my index finger is on the side toward me. Forgetting that the viewer will be seeing the side away, I think. Yes. Yes? Yes. Yes, yes. So I just... The idea is... let's try that again then. Let's see, how do I fix that? Thinking. Thinking noises. Let's see. So. The finger will, like... It would be like this, but it'll be behind the entire hand. And then I'm gonna erase the thumb that I have right now. I will probably put some of it back later. And like... No, we see this side. So this is the side that we see. So it's actually more like this. Because we see this side. And right now everything just looks strange, but it's okay. I'll fix it. Drawing hands backwards, it keeps happening. It keeps happening. Okay, and then I have a pinky doing a thing like this. And then the fingers just kind of go this way, and that still looks super backwards. That is even more backwards than what I had before, somehow. Okay, I'm gonna find a reference. I'm find a reference. But yes, I at least... I swear, I am twisting this poor girl's hand in so many different directions. That make no sense. If you ever wondered why AI can't draw hands, it's because humans can't draw hands either. Let me see if I can find one that's kind of at the angle that I'm going for. See if I can find that. Because I clearly cannot picture anything in my head today. I'm honestly even tempted to just kind of save it for later. Just so I can at least kind of get started on... you know, the clothing part, the part that I actually care about. You know, at least kind of draw her hair and figure out if I want to go for caddy or ribbon versus low ribbon with the veil. But I'm actually kind of leaning on going back toward caddy or ribbon. Okay. I'm not having excellent luck finding good reference here. But I think I can probably find something close enough. I'll stop being so picky now. Let's scroll back up and... oh no, okay, no, that's not quite the right angle, but that might be pretty close. I'm just thinking about how I have the wrist tilted here. Okay, no, that one's pretty good. Let's see. Let's, first thing, tilt the arm to be a bit more like how I think it should be. Something like that. Gonna make it a bit larger. Because once again, I think I drew it a little bit too small. I'm trying to kind of line it up with where I said that her belly button is. And I kind of like the way I drew the shoulder, so I'm moving it down instead of redrawing it. Okay. Let's attach her hand. Let's attach that hand. So first, I'm gonna stop trying to picture this, and I'm just gonna put the whole thing in darkness here. And we've got the finger doing a thing like this. And I don't think I'm going to be able to picture it at... Oops, wrong layer. Oh, do I not have anything? I drew it all in the hand. Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and remove that layer then. Okay. Let's flatten everything out again. Okay. So, from the finger down to here, we have kind of some meat here. And unfortunately, the watermark is covering up some stuff I need to see. Watermark not on my side this time. Okay. So, we have a finger coming out like this. And I just see the top of it. We're not worried about the rest of the stuff that I drew before. I already know it's wrong, it's fine. So the top of the palm does something like this. And then we have another finger doing something like this. Reference saves lives. Here we are. Pinky doing something like that. And the world makes sense again. And the world makes sense again. I don't have all these angles quite right, so I'm going to kind of adjust that. There we go. There we go. I think I've said before, never be afraid of using reference. This isn't even the exact same pose that the reference has. It's just close enough. It will help you. Okay, and then... Alright, let's connect the rest of the hand here. Or it does something like that. Or something. Maybe. How does it connect to the index finger? It actually does, so let's go ahead and move all this over. There we go. That's a little better. It's okay if I need to move the arm again. It's fine. Try to get all the lengths of the fingers looking all right here. We'll go ahead and connect the index finger now. Okie dokie. Yeah, like I said, the angle that this stock photo is at is a little bit different, so I'm kind of having to adjust accordingly. But it's okay, I'm drawing an anime, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Just gotta get the anatomy close enough to be believable. Okay, let's go ahead and attach the arm. Hand seems a little bit small, so I'll probably adjust it. Okay. On to the wrist. There it goes. And... let's see here. I'm gonna put some light on the arm here. Just so this way I can kind of know where everything's supposed to be. something like that. And then I want the hand to not be angled down quite that much. So the way I'm drawing it, I think it's more like this. Copying the reference a little bit too hard there. And the part in light, it's going to be like this. Where we see the side there, and it kind of connects down there. And then... where does the rest of the hand go exactly? Right now, I think I might have the arm going up a little bit too high, but I need to know where the rest of the hand is going for that. All that good stuff. Okay, we've got a hand. I think it mostly exists now. And it's making sense in my brain, so I'm gonna call that a win. Hooray. Hooray. I think that's probably good enough. Alright, let's go ahead and start trying to make the hand a little bit more proportionate. Pinky should be a little bit thicker, so let's move this dark line up here so I can move this up there, and then we'll just see the little pinky curl. Cute little pinky curl right here. And then I'll put in the dark shadow so this way it actually like makes sense. Let's zoom in on that. Gotta go in kind of like that. And I will just gradually get all the pieces in there. Okay. Pinky, a little bit long. I actually think all of this is a little bit long, so let's go ahead and adjust accordingly. Okay. Still looking a little mutant, so let's fix that. Let's fix that. That seems important. She's got like 4 joints here. Let me check the pinky for size here. Yeah, so we got this part. Okay, I think I see what I'm doing wrong here, and where the biggest point that my pose is a little bit different from the reference. I want the hand doing something more like this. Okay. So a little bit more of the knuckle here. This does mean I will have to change the angle of the arm again, but, you know, that's fine. I don't normally have this much trouble with hands, but I also don't normally draw hands in any pose more complicated than just something super basic. But this time I had a vision, so here we are. If you ever wonder why I don't always plan out with the illustrations that I draw on stream too hard, it's because if I get a vision and I get something that I really want to do, I will flail at it for a very long time. And so I try to keep my stream drawings a little bit more spontaneous so I don't do that. So this is probably why I will not draw thumbnails and whatnot on stream and that kind of thing, or do anything where I do more than just the bare amount of planning. Because otherwise, Like, I will have an idea, and I will want to make it happen. And I will be sad if I cannot. That's kind of what happened with the Ovi. Because there I did have an idea. No. What I had before was better, honestly. Okay. But yeah, I had something specific I wanted to do with her, and it didn't quite pan out. And because I allowed myself to keep things fairly loose, and didn't do a bunch of planning or anything beforehand, it made it easier for me to pivot. And I think that is just better for streaming. Okay, I'm getting lost in the pose again here. We have this. I feel like my pinky is a little bit long, so let's go ahead and shorten it a little bit. And then it does something like that, and that should be the fingertip here. Yes. That makes much more sense. And I'll just leave it kind of square, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. And now I should be able to do something similar with the other fingers here, and just kind of comes down behind the pinky. Yep, that seems perfect. That seems perfect. Don't really have to worry about it too much. All is well. Alright, I merged them. I can't just do stuff like that anymore. Middle finger's not going to be that much longer than the ring finger, so I think it can just go down to right here. We'll see some indication of finger, but not a lot. And then the thumb will be completely hidden. Okay, and now I just attach this. Yeah, that seems fine. We got the 4 fingers. We got whatever's going on around here. We got a light spot, and then the darker spots. Fingers should probably be going all the way across here, so I'll just put in their indication. Just to make sure that they're not, like, too long. And right now they do seem a little bit too long, so let's go ahead and shave them down a little. Shave them down just a tad. And I think I will pull them out just a little here. Yeah, let it do something like that. Then we have the index finger coming up to her cheek. And that seems fine. Slightly more complicated hand pose than usual, but I think it worked out. Let's try to attach it to her arm again. And this time, her hand is not backwards. Hooray! I want something a little bit cuter here. Or, you know what, maybe I don't. Do I just do it like this? Or do I do it like this? What I had is fine. This is fine. I think all is well. I think all is well. Let's go ahead and attach this. Let's see, how should that arm connect here? Doing the pose again, just to take a look. I think this is fine. let's get this all attached, all in good here. I think the arm does something like this coming out of the wrist, and you can see I'm going to be erasing a bunch of stuff. That is okay. I just want to get the shape of the forearm before I think about how to connect it to the rest of her arm here. And I'm just praying that I don't have her hand too small. Because, like, I think it looks right, but, I'm not sure. Proportion, still not my strong suit. Still not my strong suit. So I kind of have to... I have to see it to an extent in order to verify whether or not I'm right. Just kind of how it is. Okay, how does that look? Is that arm a little bit too skinny? I think it might be. Which probably does mean that her hand is a little bit too small. It does look pretty close to the same size as this one, though, so... No, I think I have it okay. How does this connect to an arm? We have the bump of the hand here. I probably just don't have that hand entirely correctly shaded. It's fine. Okay, that looks like a forearm, I think. Make it just a little bit bigger here. Okay, this part is a little bit too meaty, but otherwise I think it looks good. There, and with all this, I should have a very solid idea of where to place everything. Okay, now let's see about connecting this part of her arm. Man, and here I was like, yeah, let's just pick a simple pose. A nice, simple pose to do for character design, and then I go and do shenanigans like this. Sounds like me. Sounds like me indeed. That's quite a caved-in arm. There we go. That seems okay. Is her arm a little bit small? I do think it's a little bit small. I'll just make the whole thing a little bit larger. Let's see, I need the hand to be like right here. So if that's not working with the rest of the arm, then I have to adjust the arm. How's that? I think I want the arm to be a little bit longer, so let's grab Liquify and I'll just pull the elbow down a little. Okay. A little bit more meat up there. A little bit less bend over here. I really should have put the forearm and the back part of her arm on separate layers. It would have made my life so much easier here. No, it's a little bit long now. Okay, but that seems all right. I mean, this part's a little bit thin, but that's easy enough to fix. That is very straightforward. Okay, how's that? Okay, I think that looks fine. So let me go draw a couple of the elements that I know I very much want to keep, and that's going to be her hair. So I'm gonna go steal a color from Kyubey. Let me see, didn't I have a picture of you already? Sure do. Okay. So I'm gonna go just take the fur color here. And we'll plop it in. And indeed, it is extremely close to white. Surprising absolutely no one. So I'm not quite sure what I want to do with the bangs yet, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave them blunt for now. But I do know that I want kind of some bangs coming down here like this. Which will unfortunately cover up part of her finger there. In that case, I might have to put this in front of everything when all is said and done. But for now, I'll leave it like that. I will just leave it like that, and I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay. Am I satisfied with the shape of her head here? I think the shape of her head is pretty trustworthy. And in that case, I want the ear to come up on top of her head. And I did not shade the ear at all, but that's okay. I think that's okay, at least. And let's give it a little bit of stuff right now. It's going to be kind of in the shadow area here, so I will just kind of do it like this. Just something simple. And I'm going to go ahead and add a transparency mask here, because I know that the shape of this hair is going to be changing a lot. So I don't want to delete it, but I also do not want the ear just looking terrible the entire time. So let me actually make sure that this is in a good spot here. I have the transparency mask hidden for a second. Okay, no. While I'm doing transforms, having a transparency mask while you're doing transforms makes everything super wonky. I just want to shape this a little bit more nicely. Okay. And now that it's more out of the way, I'm not going to worry about the transparency mask. But basically, because I know that I'd be moving the hair around a lot, I think it's easier to use a transparency mask rather than having to redraw the ear every time I change something about her hair. Like, that sounds like suffering. Okay, and now I'm gonna kind of shape the side of her hair here. You can see that I lowered the opacity on the hair just so I could see where her head is. Make my life a little bit easier there. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to move this hand to the top layer, but I don't want to do that yet. I want to start getting some of these design elements down here. I'm just kind of straightening out these strands here. Her head is tilted a little, so that's why I need to kind of straighten it out a bit. I guess the ear should actually be a little bit closer this way. Yeah, that seems fine. That seems fine. This length seems good. This length seems pretty good. Okay, and I'll make that shaped a little bit more nicely in a little bit. But I want to draw the more important thing. Actually, before I even do that, I want to get a shadow color. Because I want to draw the big ponytail in a shadow color. Just to make things a little bit easier for me to see. I'm going to start with this color. This may not be enough contrast. But whatever, the hair is going to be extremely white, so it's all good. Okay. Now then. I haven't decided if I want it to be a high ponytail or a low ponytail yet. It's like yesterday I decided on low, but now I'm not so sure. So I'm not going to worry too much about the top of it. I'm just going to put it somewhere and call it good. But more importantly, I want to get the length and make it look like a tail. More specifically, I want to make it look like Kyubey's tail. So it's got to be super fluffy and super round, and it's got to curl. It's got to curl a lot. Be nice and cute. So I'm going to kind of build up layers here and start curling it around there. I think it kind of has the same impression as that tail. Gotta curl it a little bit more there. Okay, that seems good for now. If I want it to be a high ponytail, I'll just add it down there, and if I want it to be lower, I'll just put it down there. But this is kind of a good in-between spot where I was able to focus on that. So, seems good. So let's see, what other elements do I know for sure? I actually am pretty sure I'm going to keep the veil with the thing split in the back. So I guess I can draw that. The big thing is that I don't know if it's going to be on top of her head or if it's going to connect to the ponytail. It's going to do one of those two things. So maybe I shouldn't draw it yet. Let's see. Okay, in that case, I'm going to start poking at the jacket a little bit. The big thing that I'm worried about here, I like the jacket idea. I don't know if it makes sense to have this much red. That is the big thing I'm worried about, since, you know, Kyubey is just so very white. So very white and fluffy. But I'll go ahead and just do it with all the red and gold that I had initially planned for now. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do it here. And I know that I want some very poofy shoulders. Very poofy shoulders. Gotta have it, just for the sake of me being able to get the shoulders the right shape, I'm gonna pretend like they're short. But it's gonna be long, it's gonna go like all the way to the edge there. At least I think that's how I had it drawn. Yeah. But this will help me get the shoulders in. Kind of the same here, where we have shoulders. I'm gonna cover up the hand, but I'm not gonna worry about it for now because I know it's moving later. It's fine. Once again, I'm gonna pretend like they're short, just so I can see a little bit better. And then just to make my life a little bit easier, I'm gonna go ahead and pick my shadow color now. So that this way I can have some stuff to help me figure out three-dimensional forms. That seems like an okay color. Okay. So then, the way I have it drawn here, I kind of want it to open up around the chest. Have it wrap around that way. In fact, I'm actually going to turn all of that into shadow here. So it's going to kind of wrap around here, come back and around her waist. And this entire chest area is just going to be open, and there will be a white shirt underneath. I wasn't quite sure about the shape that I wanted to go for there, so I will go and just keep the kind of pointy design that I initially had in mind. And once again, I'll worry about the hand and stuff later. I'm still not sure if I like this. This was just some scribbling. And I'm not as much as I want to use sharp shapes given the personality. I'm not actually sure if it suits the design that I'm going for here. Where she's just like super blobby and everything. Okay. Let's go ahead and give her a shirt. So, currently I'm planning on making it white. Do I want it to be like the same white of her hair? I think I do. I think I do. I'll just have to make sure to separate them nicely. You know, when the time comes. I'll probably have to do a lot of color inverting while I'm working on this. Alright, so we'll give it our little neckline there. I'm going to go ahead and hide the hair for a moment. So that this way I can give it a proper neckline. And actually, it looks like I might not have her neck connected to this properly. I don't. Okay. Let's fix that. Let's hide the head just so I do not get the location of the neck confused with where I currently have her head. The neck should definitely be here. Which, I think I had it over there before I moved some stuff around. So that's kind of unfortunate. Alas, it's okay. It's okay. And that might also be why I was having a little bit of trouble with the arm. Everything always comes back to haunt me. Boop. And where's my liquefy? Here we are. Okay, well, it's fine. I didn't have to fix very much. I didn't have to fix very much at all. Let me go ahead and make sure that this is over the shoulder still and all properly connected. I don't know if it is, so let's go ahead and be very particular about this. So if we have a sleeve there, I have a shoulder here, probably does something a little bit more like that. And then naturally will not cover her chest. There. We give it sleeves later. But it will have sleeves. Okay. So now I have a shirt here. I can put this little neckline that I had planned up there. Make it nice and poofy. Okay, and I can put the little, I don't know, little bit of trim that I have planned up here now. Just do that for now. And on the shirt itself, I plan to have some buttons going down, so I'm going to go put the lines where the buttons are going to go, which is going to be, you know, about in the middle. And then I just wanted some little small frilly areas here. It's not going to be anything super complicated. And then I'll need something kind of around her neck to separate the shirt from the collar just due to nature of floof. But I haven't designed that yet, so I'm not going to worry about it. But there will be something there. Or maybe there won't be, but there will probably be something there. This is kind of how I feel about everything so far. It's just like, yeah, I think something like that would make sense and be nice, but who knows what will actually be there in the end. Certainly not me. Okay, so now I can spend a little bit of time trying to get the perspective on all of this looking good. Oh man, do I have her chest a little bit too low? Right now it feels like it might be. I'm just trying to figure out the shape of the chest here. I want this to wrap around her waist and then come up. I guess that's probably... Is that accurate? Where do the shoulders connect? Maybe I should just have... I said I wanted something around her neck. So maybe I should do something like this. Just gotta have it cross across her shoulders. I don't know. I'll leave it there for now. Should be fine. Let's give her some sleeves. Let's give her some sleeves. Oh yeah, and then the shirt is gonna have some buttons. And right now in my head, they are red. This may or may not be true. I haven't really messed with colors too much yet. So this is where, if I wanted more white in her design, I could make this part of her jacket white. It would make sense. So I at least have some options there. But for now, I'll just continue designing. Okay, and then I know that I have the big marshmallowy parts. There, another thing that's meant to kind of look like her tail. So let's see, where do I put that? I guess I'll put it underneath the arm. I'm just gonna call the layer marshmallow. So this is where I really see if I enjoy the silhouette that I kind of had going or not. Because it might just be a little bit too much. And given that I have the nice little ponytail there, doing this may not even be necessary. Or, you know, maybe I keep it like that, but I make it look more like Kyubey's ears as opposed to the tail. Here is definitely where I'm just really not sure what I want to do. I just know that I kind of like the bell shape in the silhouette here. But for now, I'll keep what I designed, and I will try it, and we'll see if I like it. This is where those initial scribbles are actually really, really helpful. I mean, I'm sure they look like nothing. They look like nothing to anyone but me. But, they're really useful for just forcing myself to try a few things. Try, several very quick different silhouettes, look around the internet for all the inspiration I need. Like, if you guys weren't here for the last episode I did on this, I did 4 different designs. One was just my initial thoughts. Then the second one, I tried to do as much as I could, inspired by her ears. The next one, I tried to do as much as I could, inspired by her tail. And the next one I did to make everything more like look like a, cat ear stuff. So the other set of ears at her head. And that kind of thing. So in my current design, I kind of have a dress like this. And then kind of a red part that goes across here. I don't know. This is definitely a part that I really don't know if I like. There's honestly a lot that I'm not sure if I like here. I might simplify all of this a lot, actually. Or maybe... Because, yeah, it's not quite working for me. I think I want the hair to be more like the tail. And I don't think I like it on the marshmallowy part. So what I think I'm going to do... I'm going to go ahead and simplify a lot of this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and keep the bell shape. I'm going to even make it a little bit larger and adjust the coat accordingly. And I'm going to make it tighter around the feet. So we're just going full marshmallow here. Okay, I need to draw that from scratch here. Full marshmallow. But I really like the bell shape. I think that bell shape just has Kyubey's shape like exactly right. Ah, man, I cannot draw this for some reason. Okay, we'll keep it simple. We'll just do a nice circle around the waist there. And then I'll start kinda pulling it together. I'm keeping it semi-transparent so this way I can see where her legs actually are in there. With a shape like this, it only kind of matters. Okay. How are we doing so far? I think it's okay. And like I said, things about the design were probably going to change as I got new ideas and thought about things. And just all these things. And in fact, I feel like the decorations that I have on the jacket are distracting me. So I'm going to delete them for now. I'm just going to draw it like this. I know that I want it tight around her waist. That I know 100% to be true. I want it tight around the waist. Everything else is a little bit more negotiable. Okay. So from there, I can actually start shaping this a little bit more nicely. Just really get that poof that I want. And focus on that general shape. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and round things out for a second here while I figure out the shape of everything else. And we're seeing her more from the back, so I definitely need the back part to be a little bit more poofed out. Where are her hips in this? Let me hide the jacket for a second, just so I can get a good view of her waist. Let's really connect this to her waist now. This is exactly why I wanted to be particular with the proportions here. So that this way, while I was trying to dress her up, and I was changing my mind every 5 minutes, while trying to decide on just everything about the design here. I wanted to make sure that I could do it easily. Okay. There we go. This is doing what I want now. And then at the bottom, I will let it kind of fan out. This is where we do the curly parts. Probably several. I had that pattern in one of mine, and I wasn't quite sure how to use it. But I think that for this, it actually works out. So I'll keep it rough for the time being, because I get the feeling I will be changing this quite a bit. And in fact, I actually think this is a little bit long. Let's go ahead and make it just a little bit shorter here. But there we go. I think that kind of has some of the curliness that I want. I'm going to tell the ponytail to defy gravity and go out over here. And once again, I'm getting more information that I think I want the high ponytail and the cat ear ribbon as opposed to the tiara. Okay, now I need this marshmallow to follow the way her legs are bending a bit more. Because in the back, this should be a bit higher. It's gonna, like, brush up against the side of her leg and stuff. Okay. Let me take a look at their outfits again, because, I mean, she needs to be able to run around and do all the things. So everything here is, like, in the other characters' designs are all super loose in order to accommodate for that and let things kind of flail about dramatically. Let their skirts poof out and do things while they're running around. Or at least I think that's what they were designed for. So, let's see here. How do I make that work there? Do I put like a split up like this? So this way it can kind of open up a little bit, or that kind of thing? I'm not quite sure yet. But I do think what I've decided on with how I want the hair to be able to go back is more and more is telling me that this should be a high ponytail and we should do cat ear ribbon. So I will draw it like that. There we go, and ribbon. So it'll kind of do this. And we'll see if I change my mind again next time. If I just go back and forth all the time. 'Cause who knows what I'll decide, but regardless, it's gonna look like cat ears. There we go. I don't think I have that positioned quite correctly, but I think it's fine for now. I think it's fine for now. I say as I keep fiddling with it, but, you know. that just kind of happens. Don't worry about it. Okay. So... next, I still do like the idea of the veil, so I'm still going to keep that. And when I was looking up references last time, I found that a common wedding style was actually to have it coming out of a ponytail. So I think I can do something like this. And we'll set the opacity down, because it's going to be kind of translucent. But first, I want to make sure that I have the shape looking good. Right now I don't, so let's try that again. It's gonna kind of come out like this. We have one side here. and it's gonna look like ears. It's gonna look like Kyubey's ears. And then this side will do more like this. Okay. This is a lot of white. I'm gonna have a hard time differentiating between a lot of things, but I think I can pull it off. Okay, then on a separate layer, I'm gonna put the decorations on. I think that'll be easier than trying to pull shenanigans. And unfortunately, it looks like it's not keeping the transparency that I had set, so... And those dots are way too big, aren't they? They are quite large. They need to be much smaller in order to resemble what's going on in Kyubey's ears. And then I want some of this gold here. There'll be some gold trim there. And I think I'll put a bit of gold trim up here. Oh no, it did respect the transparency. Okay, I just didn't flip it properly. That'll kind of represent the rings around her ears. And speaking of the rings around her ears, I wanted to give her big hoop earrings. You'll only see one of them, but that is okay. Maybe not that big. I cannot draw today. Let's see here. We'll take it slow. I guess I shouldn't say big hoop earrings. I should say moderately sized hoop earrings. And I'll still put the 3 little gems on there. Just because I think that's a good look. Okay. Yeah, I think it's kind of coming together. I think it's recognizable as Kyubey, at least. It's got a lot of the right shapes. I'll still have to figure out if I like this much red in the design, because that I am less convinced of. It's just, I need more than... I can't just do solid white. It wouldn't look good at being solid white. Oh yeah, but that does remind me that I was going to give her gradient hair. Let me go find my colors again. And honestly, I'll probably apply this gradient to a lot of different things. Just because, once again, it'll break up all of the white. There we go. And I will find a shadow color there, so that this way I can apply that shadow color to her ponytail. It's probably pointless to put the gradients on now, though. So, you know what? I'll leave it like that for now. And I think I will also put a gradient on her dress. This is just to remind me that I want a gradient on it. Because like I said, it's pretty pointless to put it all on right now. Is that not the right layer? Oh, my brush is set to overlay. Oops. But this is just going to remind me that I want a gradient there. Okay, so I could potentially use this gradient a little bit more in order to add more white spots. Like, maybe I should make her sleeves white. Okay, let's give her some shoes. I know that I wanted the little cat ears there, and otherwise just ye old standard boot. And I think I might have drawn her feet too big. Because that's looking long. I think maybe that size would have been better. I'll leave it there for now. I don't feel like going back and fixing her leg just yet. But there we go. That seems pretty okay. Okay, and I wanted the little, like, egg symbol on her back to go down there. So, let's zoom in a little. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, like, have a little bit of trim, as you do. A little bit of white on the sole here. Again, as you do. Nice. Easy way to make things look nice. And then right about here, where shoelaces would be, if I was going to give this shoelaces, but I don't think I'm going to. We just have that little egg symbol. This is super messy, but I think it's fine for now. And I think it looks pretty okay. Yeah, I think it looks pretty okay. And then I was going to give her gloves, but for that, I really just think I'm just going to change the color of her hands. I'm not going to draw anything new here. So I'm just going to go ahead and take all these light spots here, and I'm going to make them the light color. I'm going to go grab the color from the ponytail and use that for the dark color. And then I'll pick a different shadow color. Oops. I will pick another darker shadow color. For the darkest parts. And things will look strange for a little bit. It's fine. It's totally fine. Let's see, I have some dark on the ponytail here, so that seems like a good spot to find another dark color. So let's do it. Let's go ahead and do that. Is that good? I think I want it to be a little bit darker. Let's go ahead and add some nice, very dark purple to it. There we go. That seems good. Now I can go back up to her hand and grab the darkest parts here. You can see I'm filling it in very roughly for now. I am not trying very hard to get all the pieces. Oh, I still have my breasts on multiply. I don't want that. I want it on normal. There we go. I was gonna say, that seemed way too dark. Okay, and the hand here. Where are you, Mr. Hand? There you are. I'm gonna clear you out in the jacket a little. Okay, and now I will change your colors. So this will be the lightest color. And this will be my middle color. There we go. And like I said, I'll just leave it messy for now. And then I think I didn't change it there, it's fine. But I think I want some red dots on her knuckles. I think that'll be cute. And I'll just go ahead and do it on the layer itself for now. I might change my mind later. But there we go. We'll put some red dots on the knuckles. Just the occasional bit of decoration there. Okay. So what I'm going to look at now, because I think I'm going to stop shortly, I want to look at the overall silhouette here. Let's go ahead and dump a picture of Kyubey there. Actually, don't I already have one? I think I do, so I'll just, one moment, please. Let's just go up here. I'm gonna go look at the ceiling. It's fine. Okay. Back down I go. Do we have same energy yet? Maybe I can't get away with making her eyes quite as sharp as I want. Maybe they should be a little bit rounder, but that's honestly, like, the biggest thing I see wrong. Otherwise, you know, I think it's pretty alright. We got some poofiness there. This, I mean, you can't see her feet here, but it kind of has the same shape as the body here, just round. And then all kinds of comes together at a point at the feet. So I think that makes sense. And then the poofy part I'm putting at the edge is just because I like it. Literally the only thing is just, do I want to keep this red? And while I really, really do like the way it looks red, does it suit Kyubey? That is the real question. Something to think about. So I'll still keep thinking about things. And we'll take another look at this on what? Wednesday? I was thinking about using the same schedule, but I think I might shuffle some things around. Basically, I'm just trying to make it so I'm not doing the same thing 2 days in a row. But yeah, otherwise, I think it's a start. I think it's got some areas that look kind of like her. Maybe instead of gold trim here, I'll just put some jewelry. Make it a more explicit gold ring here. But this part I think is fine. I just kind of got to figure out how I want to split it apart. I think I'm going to make it more of a layered skirt kind of thing, so this way I could expand. So there'll be lots of layers there instead of just one big marshmallow. And yeah, I'll go from there. I'll see if I can incorporate more white so that this way the big blob of red up there bothers me a bit less. And we'll just start splitting up shapes and that kind of thing. But I think this is fine for an overall silhouette. I think it looks okay. It's pretty recognizable. If I were to go ahead and fill this entire thing with black, it's like you can see it. Yeah. Yeah, I think it works. Yeah, the other ear there is hidden, which may be a problem. I might need to adjust the shape of the ponytail a little bit just to make this look more like cat ears. But other than that, yeah, I can see it. So I will experiment with that next time. But for now, I think I will be stopping. So thank you all for coming. And I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will see you all tomorrow.